music, Twitter trends, The Bachelorette, Big Brother, and network originals returning to TV. Those are the topics tonight on October 19th, 2020. Welcome to RMU Extra. I'm Austin Bechtold alongside my co-host Luke Yost. Tonight, I'll be joined by Sam Dutch to discuss The Bachelorette's return on ABC last week. Colby Sherwin will react to the latest Twitter trend making the rounds. Jared Calvert will join the show for the first time this semester to discuss some music. And Luke Yost, as always, is back with me with some great content. As production for national television shows shut down with the rest of the country back in March, they have fought their way back and are ready for a return to the TV screen. Let's first start with the fall lineup for NBC. Luke, what are you looking forward to in this NBC fall lineup?
Obviously, This Is Us, which is an incredible show. It's always nominated for Academy Awards every year. The Chicagos are back.
Yeah, great
November
series.
11th, 11/11. And at 8 o'clock, we'll continue all night. It'll be 8, 9, 10, 11, and the whole
You just get to watch Chicago
there.
series all night long. I love it.
Law & Order SVU, which is an all-time classic, favorite of mine personally. And the Blacklist will be on, which I feel has been on TV forever. And I don't know how long that list is.
It has. I think it's about 8 seasons now. But regardless, I think it's a really good show. I love watching it. And that's NBC's lineup. Now let's transition to CBS. CBS also had production that shut down a little bit early on. Their first show back is going to be Young Sheldon, returning on November 5th. NCIS Los Angeles and NCIS New Orleans, like they had it last year on Sunday nights, will be at 8:30. NCIS LA will start at 8:30 after 60 minutes, followed by NCIS New Orleans at 9:30, and reruns of the best NCIS originals are going to be after NCIS New Orleans. As I mentioned, NCIS, the main show that produced the spinoffs, will start on November 17th at 8 p.m., and the comedy The Neighborhood will premiere on November 16th, also at 8 o'clock. Now let's transition in a little bit of Big Brother, Luke. As we talk in the beginning parts of the show, every week, Big Brother is going on, and now we only have about 1 week left in the season. So I want to ask you, what are you looking forward to right now with the rest of the game, with Enzo, Cody, and Nicole, really the only ones left in the game, along with Christmas?
Obviously, this HOH is the biggest one. They're going to pick who they're going to go to the Final Three with and try to win this game against. But no, I think last week we saw the whole house kind of explode. I think we thought we had a dominant 3 with Enzo, Cody, and Memphis, and then they flipped on them and said, no, I want to play with Christmas the rest of the game, so they kicked Memphis out.
Yeah,
I think it's a brilliant move by both of them.
So what do you make of the Memphis move? Because I honestly, if I was Cody and if I was Enzo, I would have kept Memphis because I don't really think they can trust Christmas in the end. I don't know if they just want to take her to Final 3 and then make her basically their third and go to Final 2 together.
I think that's what you're kind of on the same track that I'm on. I feel that if you look at Memphis and Cody's situation, especially those two together, I don't think if the only person Cody could lose the game to, in my opinion, would be Memphis. So I think for him to get Memphis out was a big power move on his part. Now we got to see if he can continue to win. He has a chance to win this game. Let's see if he continues to do so.
Yeah, Cody, he looks like that he's just dominating this game right now. He's won multiple different competitions, and competitions that, frankly, when other house guests participate in, Cody's blowing them out of the water. So I want to ask you, as it stands right now, do you project Cody to be the winner of the season, the second All-Star season ever?
I picked him to win at the beginning of the year, and I've been riding his momentum this whole season. I think he's got a good chance at it, but again, anything can happen. If he wins this HOH, I think he's going to win. I think that locks him into the Final 3. I think he's got a good chance. If he doesn't win the HOH, if it's either him or Enzo wins the HOH, because personally, I think Enzo's going to take Cody to the Final 3, and I don't think that's the greatest move. If I'm Enzo, I take Nicole and Christmas with me and hope that I get to sit next to Christmas at the end of the game because I think that's the only person that he can beat.
Yeah, and you mentioned Nicole. Nicole is the only one left in this house to have won the game once before. Do you think she won the HOH last week and she also won the BB Comics veto? Do you think that she has enough on her resume right now to be able to show the jury that she would be worth taking the $500,000 for the second time?
I think she has. I think, she's played a great game socially, and obviously challenges lately she's been dominant in. But I think what she did last week with putting Christmas and Memphis up together, I think was a great idea for her. And I think it's one of those things that you can look at as a jury and be like, oh, that's the move that changed the game. That's the move that we saw that trio get split up, and we saw that trio turn on each other. And that ultimately is a chance for her to be sitting there with the $500,000 at the end of the season.
So as All-Stars 2 wraps up, real quick, there's been some rumors of what the next Big Brother season could be with a lot of, shows have not really been able to be produced because of COVID-19. So some rumors that are out there. Bringing back Celebrity Big Brother for a 3rd season, bringing back Over the Top for a 2nd season, which was the online-only series, or Big Brother 23, just a flat-out another season of the show in winter. Quick reaction to that. What would you want any of those 3, or would you not want anything at all?
I don't want Celebrity Big Brother again.
Yeah.
I didn't like it the first time. Didn't like it the 2nd time. But I do want to see though. Remember the coaches that they did that one year with Dan.
Dan came back.
I can't remember the other 2 coaches. He was one of the coaches there. I want to see coaches again. I want to see those teams. Those kind of like, and then at some point in the season they split up.
I like that idea. It's very possible. So one other show that I think that you should check out. It's on Netflix, and it's called Unsolved Mysteries. Season 2 is being released in the coming days. It's a reboot of the classic Unsolved Mysteries that premiered in 1989. Definitely a show that I think you should watch out for. Coming up next, Sam Dutch will join the show to talk about the return of The Bachelorette and what she thought of the brand new season's premiere. We're just getting started here on RMU Extra.
Chance high five. All right.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique.
And your mother and...
I am totally a hot person. Right, guys?
Thanks for being honest.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? I'm high. Oh.
Standard precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. Dare to program something internet-breaking, record-breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to learn the difference between sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Go find those rocks. Dare to keep daring. Dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
Welcome back to RMU Extra. Sam Dutch joins me now to recap the premiere of The Bachelorette last week on ABC. Sam, thanks for joining me again.
Of course, always so much fun.
You're on it for every show. So I want to first ask you, who is The Bachelorette this year?
The Bachelorette is Claire Crawley. She has been on The Bachelor, The Bachelor Winter Games, and Bachelor in Paradise, and she is the oldest Bachelorette yet at 39 years old. She has yet to find love. She's still hopeful, and I hope she finds it eventually.
Okay, so tell me what you first thought about the season premiere, and what do you think about just The Bachelorette's return in general?
The season premiere was really interesting because they showed a long segment in the beginning about just like COVID. There was like 30 minutes dedicated to just COVID, Corona. It was redundant, but it was really interesting too because they had to spend 2 weeks in quarantine before these guys could even go on the show. So there's a lot more at stake this season, I feel. Yeah, but it was a good return.
So tell me about the general concept of the show for people that might not know what it's about.
Right. So you have the Bachelorette, who's Claire Crawley. She has 30 guys come in, and after every week they go on like group dates, one-on-one dates.
That's
whatever.
a lot of guys to start out with.
There's a lot of guys, yeah, a lot of guys. But yeah, they go on like different dates and stuff, and then at the end of the week she has a rose ceremony where she like says, you know, will you accept this rose? And whoever she doesn't give a rose to goes home at the end of the week. So then there's just weeks and weeks of dates, stuff like that. And yeah.
Okay, were you excited for the return of the show after, you know, having COVID,
right.
you know, really hamper a lot of production of different shows? Were you happy that the Bachelorette was able to return?
Yes. I love The Bachelorette, kind of like a little guilty pleasure. It's not the best show ever, I will admit, but you get into it, so I was excited.
So you mentioned to me earlier that there were a bunch of pre-show rumors that were going on, and we saw on the graphic about Dale who she might already be married to.
Yeah.
Like arranged marriage. What's going on? What's going on here? I'm confused.
Yeah, there was even stuff coming out today that people thought they saw a ring on her finger. But yeah, so on night one of the show, she like met this guy Dale, said, I think I just met my husband. But there's rumors that she knew him before the show. They interacted before the show, which is a big no. So there's rumors that like she ends the season halfway through, like with this guy. So it's a lot of drama, big dramatic season as always.
That's interesting. Let me ask you then. Are you looking forward to this season? It looks like there's not going to be much to look forward to. It seems like it's already scripted.
Yeah, I almost feel like I know what's going to happen, and then I think like another girl will come in and kind of take her spot. So I am really interested to see the rumors unfold, see if everyone's like accurate of what's happening.
Do you watch the show with anybody? Do you watch it by yourself? How do you take in the Bachelorette flavor, I guess you could say?
At home, I watch it with my mom. Here, I've been watching it with my roommate, Megan. We get really into it, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's definitely, I'd say, a girl show, but anyone, you could watch it. Guys,
I could watch. Why should I watch it?
I think you should watch it because it's fun. It's dramatic.
It's dramatic.
It's dramatic.
Is it Big Brother dramatic?
Yeah, it's kind of like Big Brother, but with like dating. I feel like you'd like it.
Oh, so it's like Showmance is on Big Brother, but the whole show.
Pretty much.
Interesting. So there's two different versions, I guess, of the show. I guess three.
Yes.
It's The
There's
Bachelor,
so
The Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise?
Bachelor in Paradise, and then they had
Is there
like
any
Winter
more?
Games, and then they had like Listen to Your Heart, and they're in quarantine. Bachelor Presents.
Okay.
There's so much.
So out of all those options, which one's your favorite?
I personally like The Bachelorette because I like to see the different kind of guys, like, because it's more relatable for me, like, to look at like a bunch of different guys rather than, and there's a lot more drama with the girls. To me, they're a lot more annoying. I like to see the guys; they're kind of more fun. But that's just me.
So it looks like Dale is the early season favorite.
Dale.
Is there anybody else in your mind you think that you can just swoop in and maybe make an impact on the show?
I don't know. There was another guy who contacted her before the show, which again is a big no, when her mom got hurt. So he was kind of like, oh, like it was sweet of him to do. But I honestly don't think she cares. I think she's just putting up a show with everyone else, and she's just waiting to be with Dale already. So
finally, for someone like me who doesn't watch The Bachelorette, why do you think I should? Like, how would you convince me to watch the show?
Like I said, I guess since you like Big Brother, I would say it's a lot, and it's just like a lot of drama. The dates are really entertaining too to me. They go to different locations. I don't know what they'll be doing with COVID necessarily, but they go to different group dates, stuff like that. It's just kind of fun to see, and it's good when you like find someone you're rooting for. You just get sucked into it, I think.
Yeah. Well, Sam, I want to thank you for joining me as always. It's a very interesting topic there. Luke, yes?
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. Back to you, Austin.
Luke Yost, already in the holiday season. You'll have to see it. Hear about the recent Twitter trend based on how it started and how it's going. Colby Sherwin will join us next to talk about it here on RMU Extra. We'll be back in 2 minutes. That's going to be a great package.
Thanks, Sam. Will you accept my road?
All right, Yost, you're up.
Yeah. I know.
That was great.
How do I get this thing on?
That was great.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Wacha. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? And now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Jason, let's go see your room.
Things could be stranger, but I don't know how. I'm going through changes now. spend a lifetime trying to figure it out. I'm going through changes, through all of the strangeness. I'm going through changes now.
Welcome back to RMU Extra. I am joined now by Colby Sherwin. And if you're a fan of RMU television, you've seen this kid before. He was on Sports Today for RMU Live. Colby, how are you doing now?
Well, based on what you said in the last block, I'm jolly to be here.
That's fantastic. Colby, now, I go to Twitter for not only my news. Sorry, I go to Twitter for news. Yeah. But also, I go to Twitter for the memes because it's a great time. Twitter is free, which is incredible. Colby, you go to Twitter for your memes as well?
Yeah, mostly memes or some sports news, that kind of stuff. But I like it when they cross over. That's the fun stuff part.
Best. Sports memes, sports beef in memes are
Brown
great.
Steelers beef, it was great this week.
But let's talk about the most recent meme trend on Twitter. How it started, how's it going? Colby, I'm assuming you've seen at least one of these millions of tweets.
Yeah, so from what I can guess, from what I can tell, it's from an account called King Jamal 08. He posted a tweet. It was a text message between some random number who was claiming to be a grandma, inviting him to Thanksgiving dinner. Then they're kind of a different, I don't know how to say this, they're kind of like, he's black, she's white. That's the difference. She's not his grandma. And he goes to Thanksgiving dinner, and that's the joke.
Hey, that's fun. But hey, now we got a better joke here. We got Mark Sanchez, a two-time AFC a two-time quarterback who's got his team to the AFC Championship, but also probably the greatest play in football history. Not the Colts punt. It was on the not top 10 for 30 weeks, and it's probably the king of the not top 10.
Yeah.
The infamous butt fumble, running into his own lineman.
So this is on Thanksgiving night against the Patriots. Sanchez is under center when he gets the ball. He's supposed to hand it off. And it's called a broken play, and he runs straight into his lineman's butt. It's called the butt fumble. It's one of my favorite plays of all time.
It's more than just a broken play. It's a beautiful play. Let's see another one we have here, ready to go for you guys. We have the How It Started, How's It Going, Minnesota. Hey, you up? And guess what?
They were up.
They were up.
They were up.
And they got rid of Stephon Diggs, and he's blowing up over in Buffalo.
So this is basically the Bills texting the Vikings to trade Stephon Diggs. I think it was only a first-round pick to get Stephon Diggs, so I think it was a good trade.
Pretty cheap market on Stephon Diggs. Now he's in Buffalo, and he's playing well. He's actually playing right now against the Chiefs. And last I looked, Chiefs are up by 3, 13-10. It's probably changed by now. It's 2010 now, as I'm told. Let's take a look at another one here. Oh, Baker. Listen, we can't be getting on. I love Baker Mayfield, not just on my fantasy team, just in life. Baker is a whole vibe.
Team.
But yeah, not a great day for Baker yesterday. had a 53 or QBR yesterday. Got benched for Case Keenum. I mean, that's pretty much the story on that one.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield. How's it start? How's it going? If you were to do one, though, what would you put in your two boxes, if you will?
So I'd do another sports one. I would do how it started, it be Pitt, and it be ranked. And then how's it going? Them losing on an extra point to Boston College last week after their kicker hit a 59-yarder to tie it.
Yeah,
that's what I would do.
That is tough.
Yeah.
we have another one here from the Denver Nuggets, who announced their draft pick during a commercial. They got Nikola Jokic during the commercial, and now he's a NBA All-Star. Colby, thanks for joining us here. It's always been great. For the latest news, arts, and entertainment, sports going on around RMU, make sure to check out RMU Central Media on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and to stay up to date with all things happening around campus. You can check out the website at rmucentralmedia.com. And after the break, Austin will be sitting down with Jerry Calvert to talk about music. Stay with us here at RMU Extra.
Heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
What are you doing in there?
What's that?
I wouldn't do that. What are you doing? What are you looking for?
prepared is your family if a hurricane shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a blizzard? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
Let's go.
you'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes.
Make a plan today.
Welcome back to RMU Extra. I'm now joined by Jared Calvert to break down some of the best music that has come out over the course of the year. Jared, first, thanks for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me, Austin.
So I want to first ask you, what is your initial reaction to the latest in the world of music?
Oh my God, 2020 was just it was unique.
It's crazy.
Artists were quarantined, they had nothing to do, so they just hopped in the studio, made a bunch of projects, and I feel like that's what we're going to hear for the rest of this year and even 2021.
So what is the biggest album, in your opinion, that has dropped this year?
The biggest album, I think it's a debate between either Pop Smoke or Juice WRLD. I mean, both artists died.
Yeah.
Pop Smoke's #1 on the charts again in album sales, and his album dropped in June. And Juice WRLD just had the biggest posthumous album sale ever. Sold almost 500,000 copies in 1 week. But yeah, there was that, and there was just a bunch of other really good albums that came out. Wanna by Gunna's another really good one. And of course, you have the nominated Lil Baby and DaBaby albums that dropped this year. It's just a great year for music, in my opinion.
It's a lot of good albums, and we'll talk a little bit more about Juice WRLD later. But let's talk now about, looks like Trippie Redd's releasing a new album just around Halloween time.
Yeah, he is, and in a matter of fact, he's dropping a rock album the week after. But Pegasus is one of his most anticipated albums since even 2018, but it's finally releasing. He has a few songs out on it already. Also, the past 2 weeks, 21 Savage and Metro Boomin dropped another collab mixtape, which was really good. And Bryson Tiller dropped Anniversary, which comes 5 years after his last album, which was a really good chill vibe album.
So we talked a lot about albums that have recently been dropped. What is your favorite single that has come out, even over the course of the year or just even recently?
Well, it's not hip-hop without a little bit of Drake, and I think one of my favorites this year was Life is Good with him and Future. It was a really good single that came out. I also really liked What's Poppin' by Jack Harlow.
Another good song.
That caused
him a remix out of that, too.
Yeah, it caused him to blow up, and he had a remix with Tory Lanez, DaBaby, and Lil Wayne, which was just really good. And also, Walk 'Em Down by NLE Choppa and Roddy Ricch. Those are two artists who really blew up over the past year, and they have a lot of potential in their career.
Did you notice that someone once pointed out to me that whenever Drake released Life is Good, ever since, life has really not been too great?
Yeah, I've noticed that too, and I also saw that tweet, and really caused me to chuckle a little bit.
Yeah, very interesting. So Drake has been popular for a very long time. Who, in your opinion, who's the album that really blew up this year and really has just gained an increase of popularity?
Well, obviously you got to go Pop Smoke there, but I feel like the best album this year was definitely from Polo G with The GOAT. It was just really consistent all around, and there honestly isn't one bad song off that album. But Pop Smoke, you just see with his album just the potential that he had and how unique his deep voice was with his New York drill beats.
Yeah, it's really a shame that it was really cut short. I want to last ask you, because we're two really big Juice WRLD fans, and it would not be RMU Extra without us talking Juice WRLD. Do you expect Juice WRLD? Do you expect any new music from Juice WRLD real quickly to be able to be announced?
Well, believe it or not, his deluxe album was supposed to drop this month, but since his contract was up with his old label, they can't release it. So, honestly, my best bet's same time as this year, next year.
All right, Jared, I want to thank you for coming on with me today.
Thank you.
Really
I appreciate it.
To get even more RMU-TV related content, be sure to follow up with our other shows. For the latest news, you can catch RMU Live. You can catch us every Monday at 7 p.m. Sports Talk in the Berg and RMU Tonight, rotating Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Colonial Sports Center Thursday nights at 9:30, and also RMU Focus, Fridays at 1 p.m. Coming up after the break, Luke Yost will be joining me once again to be giving our what to watches for today's show. Stick with.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Whatcha? Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? Well, now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Jason, let's go see your room.
How is it? Is it good?
Things could be stranger, but I don't know how. I'm going through changes now. Could spend a lifetime trying to figure it out. I'm going through changes, through all of the strangeness. I'm going through changes now.
Welcome back to RMU Extra. Let's now get into our what to watches for the week. My what to watch is the World Series between the Los Angeles Dodgers and Tampa Bay Rays. Game 1 is going to be started by Clayton Kershaw and Tyler Glasnow. Starts Tuesday night at 8 o'clock on Fox. And it's really going to be a good battle between large market and small market, Luke.
It's a great battle between the two big contract differences in baseball.
Yeah, really the two best teams that we've seen in baseball this year, too.
And my what to watch is the Steelers versus the Titans, 2 5-0 teams, only 3 undefeated teams left in NFL right now. But yeah, it's going to be a great game, and I honestly think the Steelers are going to remain unbeaten. It's a good running defense against an offense that relies on the run.
Yeah, great rush defense against Derrick Henry. I think they'll be able to neutralize him a little bit. It's going to be tough not having Devin Bush, but I think Robert Spillane played well last game. Should be able to fill in. Let's get into this week in sports, Luke.
Let's do it. The World Series, you mentioned it, starts tomorrow. We're going to see 2 really good players, the MVPs of their respective leagues from the conference series thus far, or championship series, excuse me. Randy Arozarena from Tampa Bay. He was crushing baseballs all series.
He hit home runs in almost
came
every
up
game.
big in the last game for the Rays. And talk about coming up big, Corey Seager came up huge for the Dodgers. All of the series last night, especially.
Yep.
But a big story from last night. Cody Bellinger dislocated his shoulder on a home run celebration. Wild played the last 2 innings with it. I mean, he looks like he's okay, but could be interesting. Obviously, we mentioned the Steelers. The Seahawks and the Titans are also undefeated, left in the National Football League. And big news today, NBC Sports legend Doc Emmerich retires from the booth.
Yeah, really I'm a big Doc Emmerich fan. I think he's the best broadcaster in the NHL, or at least former broadcaster now. And just being able to hear him call the 2016 and 2017 Stanley Cup champions for the Pittsburgh Penguins, those championship games were, just brilliance by Doc Emmerich. And it really is going to be sad to see him go and retire now.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be a completely different thing. I mean, they've got until roughly December to figure out who they're going to replace. I'm assuming that the decision is going to be made in the next couple of weeks, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and the Steelers coming up against Tennessee, one of those remaining unbeatens are going to go down. So if the Steelers can just play good fundamental football, Ben Roethlisberger has been great, and I think that they're going to be able to. I think they're going to hang on and move on to 6-0. But thanks for watching the 4th ever episode of RMU Extra. For Sam Dutch, Colby Sherwin, Jared Calvert, and my co-host Luke Yost, I'm Austin Bechtold. We appreciate you tuning in, and we will see you next Monday night.